What if the real reason so many people feel tired, tense, and quietly unhappy after 70 has nothing to do with their health, their money, or their past mistakes, but everything to do with a few invisible things they keep caring about long after those things have lost their value? Have you ever wondered how some older people seem calm, content, and emotionally light even with aches, limitations, and fewer possessions, while others feel restless, irritated, and heavy inside despite having everything they need? Because the truth is, aging happily is not about adding more to your life, but about releasing what no longer deserves space in your mind. And this realization often arrives late unless someone clearly says it out loud. After 70, one of the biggest emotional burdens people carry is an unconscious obsession with what others think. A habit formed in youth when approval mattered for survival, work, marriage, and reputation. Yet many seniors still wake up worrying about how they look, how they sound, whether they are acting too old or not old enough, whether their choices will be judged by family, neighbors, or society, even though those same opinions rarely offer comfort at night or peace in the morning. And caring about them slowly drains joy from simple moments like eating slowly, dressing comfortably, resting without guilt, or expressing honest feelings, because when you constantly imagine an audience, you stop living and start performing. But the moment you loosen that grip, something profound happens inside your body and mind. Your shoulders drop, your breathing deepens, and your thoughts feel less crowded, and you begin to realize that at this stage of life, approval is optional, and peace is essential. Closely tied to this is the habit of comparison, which becomes especially cruel after 70, because bodies age differently, lives unfold differently, and luck plays a larger role than effort ever did. Yet many older people still compare their energy to someone else's, their health to a neighbor's, their finances to a relative's, or their social life to what they see online or hear about in conversation. And this comparison quietly whispers that they are behind, less fortunate, or somehow failing at aging, even though there is no universal timeline for later life. And when you stop caring about how your life looks compared to others and start respecting your own rhythm, your own pace, and your own story, the constant background tension fades and you begin to feel enough exactly where you are. Because your life is not a competition. It is a lived experience shaped by choices, sacrifices, chances, and survival that no one else fully understands. Another heavy weight many people carry into old age is the need to please everyone. A habit built over decades of being a parent, a provider, a spouse, an employee, or the responsible one. And while kindness is valuable, people-pleasing becomes harmful when it forces you to say yes while your body begs for rest, to listen when your mind wants silence, or to attend obligations that leave you exhausted for days. And after 70, energy becomes more precious than time. Yet many seniors still give it away to avoid discomfort or guilt, not realizing that every unnecessary yes is a quiet no to their own well-being. And when you finally stop caring about being liked, needed, or approved of by everyone, your relationships actually become healthier. Because the people who care about you respect your limits, and those who don't slowly drift away, leaving behind fewer interactions, but deeper ones, calmer ones, more honest ones. Perfectionism is another silent thief of happiness in later life, because many older adults believe they must age correctly, eat perfectly, move perfectly, think positively all the time, keep a spotless home, or follow rigid routines to prove they are aging well. But this constant pressure creates stress and self-criticism, especially when the body naturally changes. Memory becomes selective, or energy fluctuates, and instead of enjoying what they can still do, they focus on what they can't, turning everyday life into a checklist rather than an experience. But when you stop caring about perfection and allow life to be slightly messy, slightly slow, and slightly unpredictable. You open the door to real peace, because joy often appears in imperfect moments and finished conversations. Quiet afternoons, simple meals, an unplanned rest, and accepting imperfection allows you to treat yourself with the same compassion you once gave others. Perhaps the deepest thing to stop caring about after 70 is the fear of aging itself. Because fearing age keeps you trapped in resistance, always looking backward or worrying forward instead of living now. And many people secretly fear becoming invisible, dependent, forgetful, or irrelevant, so they fight age by denying it, criticizing their bodies or chasing youth, not realizing that fear makes aging heavier than it needs to be, while acceptance makes it lighter. And when you stop seeing age as a decline and start seeing it as accumulated experience, endurance, and wisdom earned through survival, you shift from fear to respect, because every year lived means you overcame something: loss, hardship, illness, disappointment, or change, and this reframing brings dignity, not denial, into your later years. What most people don't realize is that caring less does not mean becoming careless, cold, or disconnected. It means becoming selective, intentional, and emotionally intelligent, choosing peace over pressure, comfort over appearance, meaning over noise, and truth over performance. And when these internal shifts happen, daily life changes in subtle but powerful ways. Mornings feel calmer, conversations feel lighter, silence feels comforting instead of lonely, and small pleasures feel richer. Because your nervous system is no longer constantly defending itself against unnecessary stress. And happiness stops being something you chase and becomes something you allow. This is why some people in their 70s and 80s radiate calm even with limitations, while others feel bitter despite having more. Because happiness at this stage is less about circumstances and more about inner release. And letting go becomes an act of wisdom, not weakness. A sign that you finally understand what matters and what doesn't. Suggestion: if you truly want to age happier starting today, begin gently and honestly by observing where your energy goes. Notice which thoughts create tension, which obligations feel heavy, and which comparisons steal your peace. Then consciously choose to care a little less about one unnecessary worry each day. Protect your time like it is valuable. Listen to your body without judgment. Say no without explanation. Rest without guilt. And remind yourself daily that aging well is not about holding on tighter to life, but about loosening your grip on what no longer serves you. Because the lighter you travel emotionally, the more peaceful and meaningful this chapter of your life can become.